Hi, I'm Ernie Shimizi for WVVH-TV, and we're at the Bridgehampton Community House, where there's going to be a meeting of the Black Ivy League Alumni Association, so stay with us. We caught up with the beautiful Claudine Moore.
Thank you.
Claudine, a pleasure meeting you,
Nice
and
to
you're
meet you
part
too.
of the Black Ivy Alumni Association League. Tell us a little bit about your participation.
Okay, nice to meet you too, and thank you so much for coming down, Hamptons TV. It's great to have the support from you. We are the Black Ivy Alumni League, as you said. We are made up of African Americans and people of African descent who attend Ivy League universities in the US, and we've also expanded to include Ivy League universities in the UK as well. Hence, I'm here because I went to Durham University in the United Kingdom, which is an Ivy League school in the UK. And that's why I'm one of the leadership committee here. I have a PR company, and so what I contribute to the organisation is assistance with their PR and their marketing.
Lovely. So you're now living full-time in the United States?
Yeah, I now live full-time in the United States. I moved here from London, England, about 10 years ago, and I've worked in the PR and communications industry, and I have a company now, Seymour Media International Public Relations.
So for those interested in the Black Ivy Alumni League, what is it about and what does it offer?
Well, what it offers is it brings together all the alumni from the universities who are African American and Black, as I mentioned, and we come together. We have different forums and different networking events. So this is the luncheon that we're having today, and we have various speakers, and we're talking about wealth and empowerment in the Black community. We also have a number of charities that we support, and one of the biggest initiatives that we like to work with is a youth initiative where we're encouraging young African Americans and Black students who haven't even visited an an Ivy League university to come onto the campuses, see what it's like, see other people on the campuses that look like them, and encourage them to also aspire to attend an Ivy League school.
We're here in Bridgehampton at the Community House covering the Black Ivy Alumni League, and I'm with Joe Banda, who's one of the executives, Joe, of the Black Ivy Alumni League. Could you tell us a little bit about what brings you here to Bridgehampton?
Bridgehampton, first of all, it's a lovely place. Love the Hamptons, especially in the summertime. And the Black Ivy Alumni League actually is a group of professionals who come together based on their school heritage, whether they went to one of the Ivy League schools, but really to help sustain professional development. We wanted to not only bring that in terms of the seminars and the social networking together, but also to do it here in the Hamptons because we just haven't done it, and it's such a lovely place to spend time.
Yours is a very positive association from what I could see. It speaks of
you.
wealth, it speaks of values, it speaks of promoting what is really the upper middle class and upper class segment of society. And is this something that you feel needs to be done?
Certainly, but it also connects the pipeline. So a lot of people who are in the organization may be attorneys, brokers, and teachers, and so forth. However, what we're trying to do is to ensure that the kids who don't have opportunities to go to such schools as Dartmouth, for example, or Brown or Harvard, that they're supported by the alumni, whether it's mentoring and so forth. So we're definitely trying to support not only the existing alumni who are doing very well, but also the children who probably don't know where Columbia University is.
In the number of cases, you're trailblazers because many of these institutions that you mentioned have never been open to admissions.
Right.
So you guys are really on that front wave of you young men and women who are part of your association, are part of this group that is finally able to see get beyond the Ivy walls and be part of all of this.
Right, and it's a beautiful thing because we're certainly not the first. We're just following in the trails of people who, in some of these institutions, they had the first minority or person of color maybe 50 plus years ago. So we're really following in those footsteps. And not only that, not only people of color, but also women, because it's very important that women in industry or women in education in terms of a movement is also supported. So, it's definitely a privilege to be here and to go to such schools, but also it's a privilege or an opportunity, great opportunity to service the kids who are struggling to get through junior high and high school and to pull them up and help them along.
Excellent. Well, we're thrilled to have the Black Ivy
Thank you.
League Association be part of Alumni Association, be part of the Hamptons. And how could our viewers learn more about your group?
Excellent. That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. We have a website, http theleagueonline.org. So it's theleagueonline.org. We are also on Facebook you can just search for Black Ivy Alumni League, and we'll be happy to certainly connect and come to the city. And we do have chapters all over the country. So it's a great opportunity. For example, even if you're not from here and you're just visiting the Hamptons in the summertime, but you're from, let's say, DC or LA, we can certainly connect you with alums there.
Great meeting you.
Oh, thank you.
Continued success. One of the distinguished speakers here at the Black Ivy League symposium here at the Bridgehampton Community House is this gentleman, Mr. Clyde Anderson, and he's also a contributor on CNN. So welcome to Hamptons TV.
Good to be here.
And you were on the air this morning, so I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, we're on this morning. You know, it's a busy time. We're talking about these economic conditions. And so it's keeping me very busy trying to make sure people are informed right now. And they need to be informed. People want answers and direction. And so we provide that.
Talking about that, you're an important part of what's occurring today with the Black Ivy League, but also your point of view and what your mission is and what you're doing as an author, a writer, or someone who's involved in this.
I think the main thing right now is to provide hope to hopeless. And that's what we try to do. We try to educate people and try to have a mind shift and a change in thinking. Because it's hard right now. A lot of people are looking for answers. They've been faced with some dilemmas that they've never had to face before in the midst of this economic climate. And so if I can provide answers and help them through this, that's the key. I mean, that's what we all want, some sort of pathway, some sort of blueprint or map. I think that's what a lot of people are looking for right now. So when you don't have that, people get a lot of uncertainty. And when they have that uncertainty, it causes other things. And it causes everybody to almost be stiff. And they listen to some of the headlines and they don't want to do anything. But realizing this is the time in history where we need to do something. This is where opportunity, this is where people are made in the midst of the struggle.
And I don't know, young people are also important to you because they're trying to develop their own pathway to be part of the American dream, to be part of the wealth of the greatness that America has to offer, which is rightly theirs.
Right.
What do you say to them?
Well, you know, I think the main thing is that knowledge is one of the main ways to avoid scarcity. You know, if you have that knowledge, if you have something, that's something no one can take away from you. So to be here amongst these Ivy alum, they're really talking about excellence is one thing, but they're also talking about the importance of education and what the route that they had to go. A lot of them are first-time or first-generation Ivy Leaguers. Some aren't, but it shows that there's what's possible to the next generation, what they can do, and that without the education, it's going to be a lot harder, especially in this new times that we're living in, to really be able to excel and do something extraordinary to help people. And that's what it's about right now. So if I know something, I can help you, or I can help someone else to do better and be better.
A little bit of your background.
I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I was raised in Detroit, Michigan, single-parent household, and I never was taught about finances. I never had that education, and I almost learned through default, getting into the finance industry at age 23. I always told people I was 6, and you know, I've been in it about 12, 13 years, so I started really young. But at 23, I got in and understood the importance of financial education and economic literacy. And I had never been taught that. So my goal was to make sure other people didn't have the same pitfalls or have to go through the hurdles that I did in order to become educated. And so I try to make education available. We do teen literacy camps, we do adult camps. We really try to make sure they understand the importance of being economically sound and having a good base or a foundation. Because that's where a lot of people make mistakes, they just don't know. And so if I know better, I have to do better. And so my track took me in the industry of finance. I ended up writing a book about credit. After I kept hearing the same things over and over again, and I realized if I put it in a book, I can give it to people in a way that they can get it. And I try to talk in a language that they can understand, because I don't want to go over people's heads. I want to make it plain and simple, because it doesn't have to be difficult, you know, but it's something that's needed and necessary. So after I wrote the book is how I ended up getting on CNN. So I've been on CNN probably since 2005. Working as a financial expert and really providing personal finance, housing information, just kind of keeping my finger on what's going on as far as us as the United States economically and what we need to do to get better.
Wonderful. Do you have a website or a way our viewers can link in with what you're doing?
Sure, they can find me at www.financiallifeconnection.com. That's our website. So again, www.financiallifeconnection.com. Take a look, visit us. We provide lots of information, a wealth of things, and really just, again, make people aware that it doesn't have to be that difficult. And right now, in the midst of a lot of people struggling, they're looking for answers. And so we want to provide that answers. We want to make it easy as possible because, again, we've got to move on from this place. I tell people, where do we go from here? And the way we need to go is up.
Vanessa Legard, it's because of you that the Black Ivy League alumni group is here today.
I guess I'll take credit for that one, but you know, it's something that they wanted to do about 2 years ago, and I convinced them not to do it last year because it wasn't enough time to plan, and so this has been a work in process for the last couple of months. But I only take credit for just making a recommendation.
Now,
that's it.
you run a lot of things, but one of the things that I'm very well aware of is the Hamptons mouthpiece. So the Hamptons are important to you. So could we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I live out here full time. I live in Sag Harbor, and the Hamptons is very important to me. I love the Hamptons, and I started this blog, Hamptons Mouthpiece, because I wanted to bring people information that they didn't know about, but in a condensed format. So, for instance, whether there be retail sales in Southampton that people in Sag Harbor didn't know about, or whether it be a board meeting that a lot of people did not attend, but letting them know about important information that's going on. I usually go to various sites and I pull out events that I think that are important and events that I think are worthy of attending, and then I condense them into a list and I publish that list on my blog. So I just, I try to bring the entire Hamptons to Hamptons Mouthpiece and then share it within social media.
Could we talk about the Black Ivy Alumni League? Could we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, 2 years ago, I became associated with Black Ivy. I, however, did not attend a Black Ivy League school. I attended Baruch College, but they welcomed me in, and I think it's very important that African Americans network with each other. Just today, I was given so much information, valuable information, that I had no idea about, and it just gives me a starting point and an opportunity to network with other people who could possibly help out my two daughters as they begin, their journey into, their career paths.
And what is your website, or how can people connect with you?
Well, people can connect with me in 3 different ways. The first one is my website is www.hamptonsmouthpiece.com, and then I also have a group on Facebook, Hamptons Mouthpiece, and you can follow me on Twitter, Hamptons Mouthpiece.
I know they're waiting for you to go inside for the seminar. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for coming out. I'm really happy because there's somebody else here from England, Roger over here. There's somebody else. I went to Durham University in the United Kingdom, which isn't one of the US Ivy League schools, but it's an Ivy League school in the UK. And so I think I'm one of the first members, and Roger's going to be the second member, who is expanding the Black Ivy League alumni to include top universities across the world. So starting out with the UK, so it's Oxford, Cambridge and Durham, that's where I went. And we're going to be expanding that to other countries such as such as France and across the world. So eventually the dream is that we will have an organization that is made up of Black, African, Caribbean and African American students who all went to the top schools internationally, which would be fabulous because there's nothing like it yet, and it would make our organization extremely powerful. My part of the organizing was the PR. I have a PR company called Seymour Media International Public Relations, and we specialize in the UK and US. We're expanding to West Africa. And what I did with this, I introduced the organization to publications such as Envy Magazine, Uptown, Black Enterprise, etc. And they've all supported us in this event, and as a result of being introduced by us, as a result of being introduced to us, they're now very much in line to support us for our upcoming conference. So we have all these different media conglomerates trying to vie for our attention for the conference in 2012. So thank you for including the organisation to include international schools, and thank you all for coming.
Tawana doesn't need any introductions. It's just T. Jackson or something, right? Tawana Jackson. Really, I mean, the operations behind everything. I mean, I sat back, sipping my mojito as Tawana was organizing stuff.
That's why I'm gonna kill him after this event. But yes, but thank you all for coming out. I really, really hope you enjoyed all the food, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the rest of the events that we have. Shortly, we're going to be having the wonderful, wonderful seminars with all of the excellent speakers that we got to come out. We even have a speaker that came all the way from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, to speak with you guys. So very, very excited about that. And I will be actually moderating the panelist discussion. So I wear many hats, as they say. And just hope you continue enjoying yourself. Thank you.
Hi, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the catering, this amazing food. So Akin, who's in the back, his company, catering company is Pamela, and Tawana and I had to do the tasting for this, you know, just the hard work that goes into this. So, and we were really excited, and he totally delivered. And he works on Wall Street during the day, and Pamela is actually going to be a restaurant as of next year, and he does, what we're really excited about is he does African sushi. And unfortunately, his sushi chef was not available at this time, but he takes African ingredients and spices and does traditional sushi, and it's supposed to be amazing. And the desserts are done by Shakur's Sweet Tooth. Shakur is a longtime friend, and he's in Bed-Stuy, and so enjoy, and just want to acknowledge those vendors. Thank you.
One of the highlights of today's event is the food, and this is the guy who is all these satisfied people who are Akim, and your food is unbelievable. You've taken catering and brought it to a whole new level.
Thank you very much, Ernie. I really appreciate all those kind words. I really do. We've been doing this for about 3 years now, bringing together fusion food from different parts of the world, Africa, the Caribbean, various continental dishes. What we do is just what we try to do is just make people happy. Try to deliver every time we out there. I'm very, very happy about how well we've been received, especially at this event. Some of the things we do, to give you an example of what we do, is we bring spices from Africa and we can infuse it into lasagna and make it look different. The different things we do, we bring spices from the Caribbean, some spices from Africa, and we create what we call jollof rice. The various things we do is just to continue to push the boundaries, and it doesn't matter what you call it. As far as you're satisfied, the people like it, that's what we're all about. We do a lot of food tastings in Manhattan, and people are getting much more receptive to our dish. So,
and how did you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you come into starting this company?
Well, I started this company a few years back. I figured, you know, in the city, I'm originally from Africa, so in the city, I realized I want to have a little bit of everything, you know, and there was nobody providing it. I wanted to have a little bit of sushi, I wanted to have a little bit of lasagna, pasta, chicken masala, but I figured I also wanted to have it in a different context also. I like the African aspect of it. So my friends and I came together and we decided, why don't we create something unique? A unique menu, and I'm sure people are very receptive to it. We do a networking event that tons of people show up, so we're very happy with what we've done so far, and we're very appreciative of how well we've been received.
Well, how you've been received has been unbelievable. If our viewers are contemplating an event and you want someone different from the usual type of catering, exactly, how can they contact you?
You can reach us on panla.com. That's PANLA.com. PANLA.com. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and very pleased. And also, Ernie, I'd like to add that we We're having a benefit event for Somalia on September 28th at Taj Lounge in Manhattan. We will have all the details up on our website very shortly, but if you want to learn more about this event, you could send us an email to info@panla.com, info@panla.com. It promises to be a very great event, great people, great music, great food, great atmosphere. We're gonna have some good performances that night. We're gonna have a singer. We're gonna have various singers. We're gonna have food from all parts of Africa and indeed parts of the world. We really encourage you to show up. It's partying for a purpose. It's gonna be great. The energy is gonna be great, and I'm happy. I'm sure there's a lot of buzz about it already, and we're sure it's gonna be a great event. So Ernie, thanks for giving us giving us airtime, being able to share this with people. September 28th at Taj is going to be something for a great purpose, a benefit for Somalia. Thank you very much.
One of our speakers at today's event is this handsome gentleman, Allende Howell, and you have a most unique profession. Could we share that with our viewers?
Yes, I am a vegan chef. I've been a vegan chef for about 12 years. I know I don't let the looks fool you. I'm older than I look. I've been a professional chef for 12 years. I've also been a vegan all my life. So I'm here speaking on the health and wellness element for the conference today.
Well, you're a good representation of healthy living. How did you come into this?
My parents. My parents started off with me, and then once I became old enough to make my choices and whatnot, I decided to stick with it. And then it turned into a profession. I grew up in the food industry too. My parents also had a food distribution business. So I've always been in the kitchen, I've always been in the kitchen. And then from that, it just turned into a profession. And then here I am.
When you speak of being a vegan chef, what does that
mean?
What does it mean?
Okay. So I work in plant-based cuisine, which means no animal products, no milk, no dairy, no cheese, no meat. So everything else. I know that made you like, oh my God, what can I eat? But everything else. So, and beans and soy and quinoa and grains and fruits and vegetables, superfoods, all those sorts of things. You can kind of delve into the herb kingdom, and I think it kind of forces you to create outside the box. When you're a vegan chef, or when you're working on something that's more plant-based and not out of the ordinary norm of normal traditional French culinary cuisine.
Well, what you're talking about at a time when in American history obesity is at an all-time high, especially with younger people.
It's true.
To be able to get this message across is a significant one.
Well, that's kind of what I've kind of I've maybe stumbled into, I guess. I've done a couple of TV appearances as in front of young people, and people seem to kind of gravitate towards it because young people, they need to. The healthy living sphere is more crowded with people who are like, oh, you shouldn't eat this and you should eat that, and this. But I try to approach it more from an idea of like, listen, I know you like to eat. I'm gonna make something that tastes good and it's gonna be fun, and I have, and I'm gonna try to relate to the person that I'm speaking with, because food is such an emotional thing. It's more than just saying, hey, you're fat, stop eating. It's like, listen, you're unhealthy, but let me give you something you're still going to enjoy eating. But at the end of the day, you can reduce your carbon footprint, you can take better care of yourself, and you can also be satisfied. That's like the most important thing.
That said it beautifully. Okay. How could our viewers link in with what you're doing, Ian?
Oh, they can go to my website. It's ieatgrass.com. That's www.ieatgrass.com.
Great website. All the best to you. One of the seminar speakers is an old friend of ours, Clyde Vanell, high-powered attorney.
Oh.
We catch you at all the big events.
I catch you at the big events too. I just follow you around. That's what's going on.
I think it's the other way around. But Clyde, this is an important organization for you, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. The Black Ivy group and the Ivy group is a very important organization. A great group of people. They have great events and provide a lot of great information to the community and to their group. So I do support this organization a lot.
And what will you be talking about to the group today?
Today, what I'll be talking about is ideas. Everything begins with an idea. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're doing a television show, it's important to understand that things start with an idea. The problem is that people don't protect their ideas people and companies don't protect their ideas correctly. So we talk about building brands and protecting your trademarks, creating copyrighted works and protecting your copyrights. And these things last for a long time. They're valuable, but you have to protect them and own them. And I'll be talking about that, owning your ideas.
What you're talking about is very important, because if someone is to succeed, it's the idea. You can be the poorest person in the world, but if you come up with something, that concept could be your way out.
What's interesting is that everyone's talking about globalization and jobs moving to other countries with manufacturing. The truth is that if you look at what's going on nowadays, the most valuable assets are the people or the companies or the countries that own the trademarks, that own the copyrights, that own the content, that own the patents. It can be made anywhere else. But as long as whoever owns that asset, the idea, is key. So as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, as business people, we have to understand that we have to own our copyrights. We have to own our trademarks. We have to own our patents. Very, very important.
A little bit about yourself, Clyde, your history.
Well, I'm an attorney out of New York. I represent clients across the country. I'm an entrepreneur. I represent small businesses and artists around the country. I used to own a restaurant in Manhattan. I was crazy enough to get into that business. So I had
that's really scary.
That's right. So I had that business for about 5 years. So I specialize in protecting ideas. I specialize in trademarks and copyrights and patents.
Excellent. For our viewers, if they would like to get in contact with you.
To get in contact with me, you can go on my website at trademarkready.com. That's trademarkready.com.
Wonderful.
So it's teaching them how to build strong relationships and the value of relationships, and then also the money piece. And the money piece really comes down to what do we value. What we put our values on is that's where we're going to spend our money. And that's what we're going to do. So teaching strong values to the next generation, I think those are 3 things that are key to even think about leaving some sort of legacy behind.
Yes, we talk about globalization and jobs being taken away from this country and being manufactured elsewhere. The most valuable assets nowadays, not the stuff, not the manufacturing, but who owns the brand, right? Who owns the copyrights? Who owns the patents? I'm very happy to be here with WVVH Hampton TV shooting this, good friends of mine, and listen to their story. They'll tell you how they started off in their 20s. These guys were in their 20s, and they sold a patent to a major corporation in their 20s. They understood that they had to protect their thing. So anyway, so before I go on, protect your brand, build your brand, protect that, right? Or your copyrights, patents, or all 3. Invest in them, build them, grow them, and then figure out how to monetize them.
Stephanie, you're part of the Black Ivy Alumni League. And a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I'm from Jamaica. I'm actually a lawyer. I went to Columbia. I'm a recent grad. I graduated in May 2011.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
This organization, tell me, what is it about and what does it mean to you?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for minority students from all 7 Ivy League schools to get to connect with each other, and I'm excited that they've included students from overseas, so there's students from Oxford and Cambridge as well, that we can network and connect with and I guess build a strong minority Ivy community.
A little bit about yourself. You're a graduate of Columbia. A little bit about what are your goals?
Well, I'm actually very interested in real estate development, so in the long term I want to be a hotel developer.
Your background, you were born, you mentioned, in Jamaica?
Right. So I grew up in Jamaica and it's very tourism dependent. So I was very interested in hotels because hotels were a big employer there. And a lot of the hoteliers were able to do a lot of philanthropic things in Jamaica. So that always attracted me to the whole hospitality industry.
Career-wise, are you part of a law firm or are you doing it independently now?
Doing immigration law now. No, it's a little bit out there, but I mean, hopefully I'd like to be able to get over on the real estate or hospitality legal side.
Reporting from the Black Ivy League Alumni Association, this is Ernie Shimizi for WVVH-TV.